Percy the pig lay in the mud, feeling the cool, squishy earth beneath him. It was his favorite spot on the farm, where he could relax and think about his next big adventure. He wore his coolest sunglasses, the ones he found in the barn last summer. They made him feel like a superstar, ready to take on the world. "Time for a snack," he snorted, his tummy rumbling loudly. But not just any snack would do for Percy. He had a particular craving today. Not just any snack. He wanted carrots. Fresh, crunchy carrots from Farmer Joe's garden. They were the best in the whole county. Farmer Joe's carrots. Daisy the duck paddled over, her feathers glistening in the sun. She was curious about what Percy was up to. "What you thinking, Percy?" she quacked, tilting her head to one side. She knew Percy always had the best ideas. Percy whispered his plan into Daisy's ear. Gizmo the goat, who was nearby, overheard and wagged his little beard in excitement. He loved a good adventure. "Sounds fun!" Lulu the bunny hopped up and down with joy. "Can I come?" she asked eagerly, her little nose twitching with anticipation. Percy nodded, knowing that with his friends by his side, this would be the best adventure yet. Percy peeked over the fence. So many carrots. His eyes widened with excitement as he imagined the feast they could have. The garden was a treasure trove of delicious vegetables, and Percy knew he had to share this discovery with his friends. He snuck into the garden followed by his friends. They moved quietly, trying not to make a sound. Each step was taken with caution, as they didn't want to alert the farmer. The thrill of the adventure made their hearts race. Percy grunted as he pulled up a giant carrot. It was stuck firmly in the ground, and he had to use all his strength. His friends watched in anticipation, cheering him on. Finally, with a mighty tug, the carrot came free. It was bigger than his snout. Percy couldn't believe his eyes. He had never seen a carrot this big before. He held it up proudly, showing it off to his friends. They all gasped in amazement. Daisy grabbed a carrot with her beak. She had been eyeing it for a while and was thrilled to finally have it. She clucked happily, knowing she had found a perfect treat. Gizmo munched on carrot tops. Lulu nibbled happily. The garden was a paradise for them, filled with all their favorite foods. They ate to their heart's content, enjoying every bite. Suddenly they heard a bark. The animals froze, their hearts pounding. They knew that sound all too well. It was Max, the farmer's dog, and he was getting closer. Max the dog was running towards them. "Run!" shouted Percy. The garden erupted into chaos as the animals scattered in all directions. They dashed through the rows of vegetables trying to find a way out. Percy led the charge, determined to get his friends to safety. Percy ran with the giant carrot bouncing on his back. Daisy flapped her wings and quacked loudly. Gizmo tripped, then scrambled up again. Lulu hopped so fast she was a blur. Max barked and chased them around the farmyard. He slipped on a stray carrot and tumbled head over tail. Percy saw the mud puddle. "Quick in here!" he yelled. They all jumped into the mud. Max stopped at the edge, whining. He didn't like getting dirty. Percy, Daisy, Gizmo, and Lulu giggled. They were covered in mud, but safe. Percy broke the giant carrot into pieces and shared it with everyone. Even muddy carrots tasted good. Farmer Joe walked up the familiar dirt path, his boots crunching on the gravel. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a golden hue over the fields. He was heading towards the barn, ready to start his day. As he walked, he noticed the dew on the grass and the fresh morning air filled his lungs. It was a perfect day for farming. He saw the muddy mess and chuckled. The field was a sight to behold, with patches of mud everywhere and a few of his animals looking quite guilty. Farmer Joe couldn't help but laugh at the scene. It reminded him of his own childhood, playing in the mud without a care in the world. He knew that sometimes a little mess was a sign of a good time. "Looks like someone had fun," he said, addressing the animals. They all looked at him with innocent eyes, as if trying to say they didn't mean to cause any trouble. Farmer Joe walked over to Percy, the pig, who seemed to be the ringleader of the muddy escapade. "You really outdid yourself this time, Percy," he said with a smile. Percy felt a bit guilty. He oinked sadly, his ears drooping. He didn't mean to make such a mess, but the mud was just too tempting. Farmer Joe could see the remorse in Percy's eyes. He knew that Percy just wanted to have a little fun, but he also needed to learn that there were better ways to enjoy himself without causing so much trouble. Farmer Joe patted Percy's head. "It's okay," he said gently. "Next time just ask. We can find a way to have fun together without making such a big mess." Percy looked up at Farmer Joe, his eyes brightening. He oinked softly, as if to say he understood. Farmer Joe knew that Percy had learned his lesson. "I'm happy to share my carrots," Farmer Joe said, holding up a basket of fresh orange carrots. The animal's eyes lit up at the sight of the delicious treat. Farmer Joe knew that sharing was an important lesson for everyone on the farm. It wasn't just about the food, but about the joy of giving and the happiness it brought to others. He gave them all a big basket of carrots. The animals gathered around, eagerly munching on the crunchy vegetables. Farmer Joe watched with a smile, knowing that he had made their day a little brighter. He loved seeing the joy on their faces and hearing the contented sounds they made as they enjoyed their treat. They learned a valuable lesson that day. Sharing is always more fun. The animals realized that by sharing, they could all enjoy the treats together. Farmer Joe knew that this lesson would stay with them, making the farm a happier place for everyone. As the sun continued to rise, he felt a sense of peace and contentment, knowing that he had taught them something truly important.